good to go. Let me check though. My mic sounds like it's good. Um, um, Let me see. Testing. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay. Um. All right. So it's all good. I think. Hold on. That's not from the video. That was from the. Can I check from the video? I mean, from the. Hold on. I thought that was from the video. Oh, okay. Testing. Testing. See. Hmm. Okay. 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 All is well. Just making sure.
Welcome.
Okay. All right. Just checking. All right. So this is a talking stream at the moment. What? Hold on. Something just transpired. Where did all my setup go? I sat there and set it, set up everything, and then Rooney. Let's see if I get out of there. Will it go back? Okay, all righty then, fantastic. Okay, so um, ooh, okay, not sure what happened, but um, I would like to talk about this book that I read and am going to read again, or at least I'm going to read the ending again. Testing. Um, so yeah, I'm in the background of the live stream, figuring out things and adding things as I can while I'm talking. Um, I did take a bit of preparation to have this done before I press the button. Uh, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter at all. Nothing, it don't matter. So, I read James, a novel, and I do have this in the description box. So I did change up the description box by What? What does that say? Oh, okay. Polarizer prize winner, Percival Everett. Um, it's in my. It's in my. It's um. It's at bookshop.org. I am pulling up the my affiliate link for the book. It's in hardback and it's also an ebook and paperback, large print. Hey, yeah, yes. So those forms are available. I am going to put a link for the large print book in the chat. Um, you can choose whatever format you'd like. Uh, I think it's gonna give the large print one. If not, just make sure you select the format that you would like. Okay. I'm working on my background picture to be shown. Let me check something. Oh, what in the hula hey? Okay. So I do. Let me go back and get the info. Paperback, large print is okay. From all right. So I'm about to put that on the screen, and then I'll attempt to re-upload my background photo. Mm. Have you read James yet? Okay. Link. This is James, a novel
No.
by
Bye.
Percival Everett.
Right.
Paper, paperback, large print. Um, I'm trying to think if I need to upload a photo for this. I be thinking the photo uploads automatically, but I guess not. Hmm. Okay. All right. So I did it. I did it. I did it. Did it. Did it. Did it. Did it. Okay. See what next do. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. But okay. So here is James. Let me attempt to put my picture back up there. Hmm. Okay, one more time. Should I try one more time? I've tried once already. Okay, that's the second time. Maybe a third time. I don't know why it dropped off. Cause I had it up there. Okay, that's the third time. I had it up there when the show started. Anywho, um, okay, go back to that one at the moment. Try one more time. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So I was also told that this coming up Friday is the beginning of summer. So yeah, I've had ex I've had excellent fun during this spring. Okay. Let me see if that looks all right like that. Okay. Now it's in the chat. Awesome. So I was reading James. I don't know what to say. Oh, James. I was reading James. Um, I started reading James a few days ago, probably last week, probably. And what else? I read the ending, like the ending. I'm like, what? So I just kind of kept reading the ending back, the back to back, because I was just, I was just, I needed to read the ending. So I also went back and was reading, I think chapter three, part three. I read that several times. I may have to read it again, maybe. Okay, so the part where no, where Jimmy was like where they were in the river and it was Norman and Hook, and so yeah, I would read that part again because I'm like, but yeah, even before that, like I would read the cornbread parts, and 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 be like, well, what had happened? But I think I know what happened, because it's explained like something finna go down, like or possibly, and then it does, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's what that was, and so then that happened, and then so Norman, I don't know what happened to Norman. Why? Oh, I guess Norman can. Okay, so that's what happened with Norman, and then Huck, I guess. So Jimmy, okay, so they wind up out on shore, and then um, I gotta read that part again. It's like I've read that part several times and the other part several times, but I gotta read it again. Um, so yeah, I gotta read that. I'm gonna read that part again. Well, yeah, like right just after that part, cause he's sitting and he's waiting for Huck to come back for a while, for a long while, seemed like, and then he goes where he goes and re-up and um and figure out where he needs to go, and then he goes and um he gets there, and then I gotta read that part again. um so yeah. um After it got past the Uchi Ouchie scenes. Okay, so while it was in the Uchi Ouchi scene, well, oh my God, although there's a kind of like a whatever this is, like physical description scenes. I don't know, those, those scenes. Like, okay, I was able to read it. I was able to read it. I'm like, okay, whew, I could feel the heat. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I didn't have to. Hallelujah. So yeah, when he got past that, I was and then on his journey with Norman, I was like, no. I was like, no, like no. I was like, well, okay then, this this your plan, and perhaps uh, so then they make a plan to do they thing, and then so they go. And oh my goodness, what happened? Like why he in the midst of they plans? And I'm glad Norman um showed up. Oops, uh, spoiler alert, a little bit right there. Um, but cause during the plan I was like, oh my God, I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, like you can't. Ugh, ugh. I kind of want to think that the message is you can't win playing their game. I kind of think that, like, that kind of seemed like that's what the thing was, like, that it, could be an obvious possible plan. You playing into their hands, you playing into their game, but then it's like you not gonna get the better hand playing the game. Seem like I don't know, but so they planned and they went with it, and then like the plan worked out, spoiler alert, the pen worked out. However, like, just because I was like, before they did, I was just leave that alone, just leave that alone. But it seemed like a good plan, and I mean, he thought it was, because they was like, they got to get up some money for some food. So I mean, spoiler alert, it served its purpose. Um, so yeah, I gotta read from I think it's part three or chapter five. I think I gotta read that again and read the ending again. Mm, So I'll do that later on today with that book. And I got my next book queued up after I finish this book because this book is like, okay, now read that again. Okay, now read that again. Uh-huh. Oh my goodness, I'm in the reading that again mode. Mm. So soon when I get out of the reading it again mode, I will read the next book that I've selected. Um, e- I think it's called Erasure. Erasure. Um, I think I already downloaded it too. I'm not exactly sure. I think I did, and it's already ready to go. Let me check. There's kind of really no need to check because I hadn't finished reading James yet. I mean, I have, but I haven't. Like, I'm reading it again and again and again because that part after after because I want to hear because the other dude was up on the deck. Norman had said the other dude was up on the deck, and then I yeah. So I gotta read that part again because I'm like, what what is what happened after he picked up that notebook? So I'll be reading that again to actually read again what happened because I hear what the man is saying. I don't know what happened. So let me think. Okay, I'm at the end of the book, so I'll have to go back. It's about roundabout maybe chapter 11. Yeah. Also, I started reading um a Jessica Cage book. No, it doesn't seem like I got that book on standby yet. I was looking to see. I thought I did. Maybe I did on the other thing on my phone. I think that's what I did. I downloaded it on my phone. Um, Jessica Cage has a book called Siren Test. It's part two in a book series. Um, and the second part, how it come on. Okay, so it come on. It's ready, set, action. The first part, and then I don't even know if I can say the first part, second part. Okay, so when it first come on, it's ready, set, action. Then after that action, then it's some more, some more action, and uh, she goes, she starts her quest. This character, um, and I'm about, so uh, I'm trying not to talk back to these characters because the book is already written. I do not have any say so in this book. They have already done their thing. So I'm just supposed to read the book for what it is. So, I'm not supposed to help them on their journey. Um, so I'm listening and she doing what she doing. I'm like, okay, girl, you did it, girl. Like, you just was supposed to be checking up on them, but you did a bit more. You did a bit more than just check up on them. I thought he was in the infirmary, girl. Like, you doing all that in the infirmary, girl. So she did all that in the infirmary, girl. And so now she's on her quest. And then he like, cause she like, I thought we was in this together. And he was like, no, you gotta do that on your own. And she was like, why? How come you didn't tell me this beforehand? And he was like, would you have boot 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 if I had to say it different? And she was like, maybe. And he like, ugh, girl, you just leave him be, girl, leave him be. So she on her quest, and this um guide, I guess she's supposed to be this girl guide, but she ain't doing too much guiding. Um, unless like if she is like the guide is like mirroring what the girl feel inside, perhaps. I'm like, okay, so maybe she's being a mirror. Cause other than that, like, girl, what you hanging on the information for? You supposed to be helping this girl. Um, but then you talking about common sense. So if she's supposed to have common sense, then what you for? Huh? What are you for? Like, you supposed to be there to guide her. But you talking about she supposed to have common sense and you ain't gonna tell her the information that she wanna know because you think it's common sense and you think she should know it already. So yeah, I had to stop the book on that part. Or actually, I went a little further. I let it ride a little further, and then they got to like they got on shore, and um met another character, and but before that, I really thought that was cool that she called out. I think the girl name was Ariel. I don't know though, but because they didn't mention her name because she was like, it's not your business to know my name. Because she was like, what your name is? And she was like, it's not your business to know my name. And then so the girl was like, I don't know what you want to call her, the quest master or whatever, because her guide went out before her. And then she went out following her guide. She couldn't find her guide, and then she's like blocked by this water tester thing. And then so I'm thinking it's Ariel. I call her Ariel. And so Ariel was like, "Yeah, I'm down here with your people. I'm down here because your people did this and your people did that, and it's all your fault why I'm down here." And then so the girl, she was like, "What you mad for? It look good down here. Like you got it good." And then so the Ariel, she was like, "Oh, but that's because you looking at it from your childlike perspective." I'm like, "Ain't that's how we supposed to look at things, from a childlike perspective? Like we ain't supposed to lose that, right?" So so I guess she started to look at it for what it really is, and she started seeing like what the other character that I'm calling Ariel, what what she how things really look and what's really going down. And so she stand on her business, and she like, "Look, you not just down here because of my people. You down here for what you did too. Like take responsibility for you, and I'll take responsibility for me." And so Ariel was like, "Oh heck no." No, she ain't really say that, but she basically did. And she was like, "How dare you say that to me?" And she was like, "Well, you can't be putting the blame on just these one people. You did have a play in it, a hand in it, and that's why you being punished. You ain't just punished because of what we did." So I'm kudos to her for calling her out and being like, "Yeah, we may have did that, but y'all did something too." hmm You know. So yeah, Ariel got mad and showed her true colors and tossed her up out there out of the water. And so now they up on another character, and her guide is like, "You can't be helping everybody." And I don't, this guy, like, ugh, the guy, the one, I'm like, I gotta cut it off because I'm gonna be nothing talk back to this guy. Like, first of all, the guy didn't tell her what to do, what to say, what to whoop, 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 what. Like, the girl didn't even know she was walking into a test. And then when she go through that test, and the guy like, "Well, what was your answer? What was your clue to the riddle?" Boop, boop, boop. She was like, I don't know. Like, she ain't give me no clue. And then she was like, "What? You ain't get no clue? Like, you supposed to get a clue, boo, boo, boo." But then she's smiling and laughing, like, he, ha, ha, ha. Kind of, sort of like, not so much, but like smirking, like, like, ugh. So I'm like, "Girl, like, what is you there for?" Like, so the girl that's on the quest, she got a guide, and the guide ain't really guiding. So the girl on the quest, she see this person that's in need, that's hurt, whatever. She wants to get her to safety so that she can be safe. And the guy like, "Why you messing with her? We don't know her. We on this mission. Let's be up out of here." Like, she could be a setup, she could be a trap. Boop, boop, boop. So this what the guy's saying. And then the girl was like, "Well, why you jump to that conclusion? Why for come she just can't be somebody in need and I need to help her?" So um the guy like, "Well, why don't you think like that? Like, you do need to be thinking like this could be a setup and boop, boop, boop." And then so the girl that's on the quest, she like, "Why are you jumping to that conclusion? I don't need to necessarily jump to that conclusion. I'm thinking she need our help, so I'm gonna help." And the guide is like yelling, and they supposed to be incognito because I think they just ran away from some panthers or whatever. So she noticing, she taking notes while this is going on. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, girl, I don't know about this guy. But then I was thinking, like I had mentioned before, like this could be possibly what she's thinking inside. So perhaps she needs to alter her inner thinking. Maybe that's what's going on. And the God is there for reflection, to show reflection of what she's thinking. I don't know, because she's doing and saying one thing, but then the God is like uh, doing something else. So yeah, I paused it because I'm like, what? How are you guiding? How is this guidance? But yeah, the also the guide is like having to choose her own thing. How come my background looks like it doesn't have a background on it? When I my background hopped off again. I didn't even do anything to it that time. Like I didn't do anything to it the other time. But what is up with that? What's up with my background popping off? How did I get it to go back the other time? Ugh, did I do that? Let's see. Nope. Uh, and I got James up here while I'm talking about this other book, Lord. Could put the other book up there. The other book that I'm talking about. Uh, I don't know why my photo popped off. Okay, okay, okay. So my own photos aren't coming up. So let me there. How about that? There we go. Okay. Oops. What did I do? Nothing. Is it still there? No. Okay. So so yeah, I stopped it shortly after that. Like she noticed what the guy was doing. She took note and that's good. She doing that. She checking herself. She taking notes. So maybe that's the guide is just there for the character that's on the quest to have personal growth moments. I don't know exactly, but that's kind of what it seemed like it's leading to. Um, at the moment. Um, so yeah. And then there's a scene in the book. I was like, I wasn't ready. Like, I wasn't ready. Like, but yeah. It, so yeah, I about read all of Jessica Cage's books that I can get my hands on. Now there's several of her books that I hadn't gotten just yet. Um, I've read almost all of the audio books that I can get my hands on of hers. She has an ebook series that I'm looking at. Like I can get them, I can get them, and they look good. I like how they're looking, and it looks like they're about dragons as well. Looks like it's a whole series.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. And she has a couple of other books as well that's not in that in that uh c- collection. Um but it's in its own collection. So I'm looking at those. I'm thinking, do I read those too? I mean, I can. So yeah, this is my Jessica Cage month as well as my Percival Everett's month. Um, so that's what I'm rocking at the moment. I'm thinking I'm reading, let's see, so it's June. I'm thinking of reading at least 6 books this month. I so that I can stay on task with my reading goal. So I'm thinking 6 to 7 books this month. At the moment, I've read 4. Well, technically, well, 5. If I want to go ahead and put James in the mix. The only reason I'm not putting James in the mix at the moment because I'm still reading it, like I'm rereading it. And rereads do count, but I'm not reading it from the beginning. I'm reading it from like part three. Um, so yeah. So five books so far. Four books accounted for. Five. Oh yeah, and I'm reading Simon's Test, so that'll make six. And you're sure what's it called? You sure erasure or something like that. Erasure. That'll make seven. So really my goal is seven books this month. My reader insight says keep it going. At my current pace, I'm on track to meet my 2025 reading goal in November. I stepped it up. Okay, so the last time I checked my reader insight, it said my reading goal would be met in December. So now it's November. So yeah, step that up. Let me go over here. So far this year, most read genre is romance, 9 romance books, 7 fantasy books, 4 classic books, literary fiction, 4 literary fiction books, and 4 personal growth books. Most read author so far this year is Jessica Cage with 6 books. I've read 6 of her books so far. It'll be 7 soon. Um, Rebecca Yarros, 2 books of hers. T.M. Richardson, 2 books of hers. And did I read The Trees this year or last year? I think I read The Trees this year. So it's about to be 2 books of Percival Everett. Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh I got the days. I can read or reach my goal of 7 books this month. Seems like. So that'll be cool. I've been and read 7 books of Jessica Cage and 3 books of Percival Everett by next month. July, I don't have my reading goals for July just yet. It is a J month, so maybe I'll continue with Jessica Cage's books, and perhaps Percival Everett books as well. Maybe they can continue on through July, June and July. I don't know. I don't know if I thought anything was funny in James like I did the trees. Just I don't know, just to compare because it's the same author. It's the same author, but it's a different book. So I was all ready for the giggles. I was all ready, and then I did I don't recall giggling during this um James. And but I do enjoy the book. Um what happened? I'm glad the author uh well, it was some stuff I was like, oh my goodness, do you gotta oh my goodness. I'm like, ugh, I, I'm glad I survived reading that. Goodness. Um, I don't recall giggling. Like, I wouldn't say this. Well, that was my experience. Now, with the book club that I was in, or that I am in, um, when I said that I read trees and I laughed hysterically, there were other readers that were like, it wasn't enough humor for them to negate other things that happen in the book. Ugh, but I'm like, okay, if this part of the book is like ha ha ha, I'm gonna ha ha ha, I'm gonna he he he, I'm gonna laugh laugh laugh. And then when it gets to the next part of the book, and if it's not that, it's like if it's a bit of the scary part, because I'm thinking about, talking about the trees now, there are suspenseful parts where I wasn't laughing. I was suspenseful. I was like, I was feeling the suspense. I was like, just like when it wasn't laughter time, then it wasn't laughter time. But when it is laughter time, I'm going to laugh. So that's how my experience went with the trees. Now, for James, I didn't see the laughter. I was looking. I went in looking. I'm like, okay, because I seen the book. I seen the book recommended last year. So I put it on my TBR last year. I didn't know that it came out last year. It came out like, I don't know. Well, I could look it up, but I saw it like late in the year, I think. So, anyways, I've read it. I didn't see anything funny. I didn't. I tried. I tried to see something funny. I can't. Okay, maybe I smiled. Maybe smiled. Maybe, but laugh like I did in the trees. Okay, so the trees for me was like a movie that I had been waiting on. Like a movie like what I thought. another movie was going to be, but it wasn't. So when I read The Trees, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for right here. Uh, Movie wise, like, and then the dialogue, I found the dialogue hysterically funny, uh, hilariously funny. I love the Lordest. Now, this one, the dialogue wasn't like that for me. I didn't find nothing funny. I didn't find the dialect funny. I didn't find what was going on funny. This had a different feeling to it. It may have been written by the same author. Um, to me, in my experience, this was different. This was a different feeling to me. That's how I read it. So I liked it. I liked it. I got over the parts that really felt really hot. It was some really hot moments in this book. Like, oh my goodness. It was some really hot moments, like temperature wise, um like heated, like, I don't know how to say that. Like, you wish it had a went another way. Like, ugh, it was. I don't know. Like, I want kind of say, I I think I might have almost cried in this book. I think somewhere up in there, somewhere up in there, I think I almost bawled. Like when they were on the logs with Sammy, and after they got up ashore, I about almost bawled right there. So yeah, I had different feelings during this read of James, and that's fine. That's fine. I get to read these books and I get to have my own experience with the book. So I'm grateful for all the experiences that I've had with the book so far, whether it's laughter uh, or this James here. Like, James kind of seems like it's a bit of a history book type thing going on for those that it was. So yeah, I'm glad he um got to where he was going and was got getting on his path. And oh my goodness, to see and ugh, to read what he went through, that those are some those those moments were the oochie ouchie parts of the book. And then Sammy, that part was like a tear jerker. Not necessarily a tear jerker. I think I just was, well, it could have been a tear jerker. So yeah, Sammy's part being a bit emotional for me. There were emotional parts in there. And then the parts where you're like, there are some parts of relief. So I'm grateful for the parts of relief. Like, phew, okay, got out of that. Okay, let's go. Like, Okay, phew. And then like when he's waiting on people and he don't know if they coming back or not. Ugh, it's like, oh my goodness, like the suspense. So yeah, there's suspense in there. There's emotion in there. There's heart. This book is Captain Planet. There's wind, water, heart, fire. Did I say water? I said water. Water, wind, heart, fire. Yeah, this book is all that. So cool read. Like love, enjoyed the book, James, so much so that I have read it numerous times already now. The ending part and or like from part 3 to part 5 and on. And I will be reading that again later on today. So once I get that reread again, I will move on to the next book of his. Um, let me see what it's called. I guess I could have popped that the chat. Let me pop out the chat first so I can have the chat with me. Thank you, Rudy. Howdy. Okay. Hmm. Maybe that's my setting. Mm. Did I save it to my? Maybe I saved it to my favorites. Oh yeah, I do have another book. Inner Engineering was up next. So I do have a book on queue already, all ready to go. I got that book on queue. Um, I didn't say Percival Everett. Hmm. I, not on this one. Now, see, I got a bunch of places where I read books, a bunch of apps, so I think I saved it somewhere else. I thought I had it on my wish list because I did mention putting it on my wish list. No worries, because I can always type it in. Um, I'm looking for the book that I said I was going to read next of his. Is this it? Yeah, this it right here. Erasure, erasure, erasure. I think erasure, erasure, erasure. Yeah, that book. It's erasure, erasure. Um, put it on my favorites. I got it on my favorites now. Erasure. 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 A novel. It's about two authors. Well, it's about one author, but then somebody come up and I'm like when okay, so when I read the description, I'm like, well, all your other books have done well. Um, and then so this author he gets like a not so welcoming review of his latest book, and then this new author gets like bestseller on and popping, but he he like negating the fact that the other books he's had has been successful, and now it comes to this one book, and it didn't fare just well just yet, and then so this new author is like on and popping bestseller, and he like, well, who the hell is you? So he like kind of a bit like I don't know, like a bit salty with the new author, and then so he writes another book under a different name, and that book gets is welcomed more. So that's in the description. That's in the description, and I did read the description a few streams ago. Okay, his latest manuscript was rejected. His previous novels were critically acclaimed. So yeah, I got this queued up. Hopefully he okay. Like I don't know what it sound. I hope it's a Kiki. If it's not a Kiki, fine. It's not a Kiki. Like if I hope it's. I wouldn't mind it being hilarious. I don't know. Just I'll read it for what it is. If I hope it's okay though. Like I don't my my goal is to read uh, like I don't know, just because it kind of seems like a conflict book. So my dash to go and read a conflict book is not on my agenda. Like I don't read books for the drama. I really don't. Like you can look through my book catalog and see I don't be for the drama. Like I be for the good vibes. Um for the tears the seasons because there was a bit of drama in what was that? It was a couple of Christmas books that had some drama in it. But yeah, I be for the good vibes. I be for the for the good vibes. I don't be for the drama. I ain't picked up no book for no drama yet. But I think I have a bit of drama books on my TBR just because. But I don't know because I hadn't read them. But if like an author or a book or a series is recommended, I'll put it on my TBR and then I'll go from there. Okay, so these were recommended and I put them on my TBR for later and I'll go from there. I'll see what they bring, but yeah, it kind of feels like a bit of a drama book just because this author is like, well, what like he's salty with the other author, so that's what I'm getting. That's why I'm getting this kind of a drama book, and then at the same time he feeling some kind of way because his recent manuscript um was rejected, but at the same time he not looking at all the success he's had with his previous um novel. So I'm like, look over there. Look what you did. But then he writes another novel under a different name and he gets a better reaction. So yeah, this look like it's gonna be something. Like not, I mean it's gonna be something, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to read it because the only book that's been hilarious is The Trees for me. And I thought it said something about being hilarious in the description. So, yeah, the description was on point with that book. James, I think when hilarious was mentioned, I think it was more said about the author's writing style and not necessarily the book. So, yeah, the description fits the book as well. If you don't blur the lines between where it says hilarious, then you're not going to think the book is hilarious like I was, but it said the author's writing style. So I was like, okay, so I'm here for the writing style. But yeah, so yeah, I did notice. I did start to notice some themes at the end, um, but I didn't. But they weren't hilarious to me. It was a good book. It just wasn't. I just didn't get that hysterical laughter like I did with the with with the dialogue in the trees. Now, maybe the reason I was laughing is because of the dialogue. Like the dialogue in the James was not as hysterically funny to me. Maybe because I've heard this dialogue before. I've heard it, so it wasn't foreign. I mean, okay, oh my God, like not okay. So it wasn't like I not to say something foreign is funny. I'm just saying I had a good time reading the books. Okay, so yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. Like, because this book even says the word. I think it also says Lordy one time that I can recall, but it wasn't the same. It was like a different age of character that said that, and it just wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I wasn't laughing. I was like, oh, I was like, Jimmy, please get to where you're going. Like, it almost seemed, oh my goodness, his journey, Lord, his journey, and what he went through getting the way he was going. And then I like his reveal and a bit of the responses. And then, yeah, Lord, I mean, it's what the book says it's a retelling of the historical book of Huckleberry Finn. So yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind seeing this book and what it brought to the forefront at all. I didn't mind it. So I did read it. Yay! Gold star. I read it. And I'm reading it again. Like, so it must be good because I've read it numerous times already. Like, especially the ending part. Now them bullwhip parts, I'm not reading those again. I'm not reading that part again. I'm just not. Like, I read it one time. Read those parts again. Oh my goodness! Like my temperature rose. Like, and then not only did it rise, it felt I had to calm down because the description of that and what he was feeling and what he was feeling while he was healing, it was just like, oh my goodness, like what? So it was good to see that he got to um, have closure with those characters. So I got my next book on my favorites right now. Let's see. Part one of Siren series. What? Oh, wait. Am I reading that wrong? Okay. I thought this was part two. It says part one of the Siren series. Okay. Part one. For some reason, I thought it was part two. Okay, cool, cool, cool. It's part one. Even better. The sins of those before us often lay the building blocks for the hurdles that appear in front of us. That's from the book Siren's Test by Jessica Cage. Serene, Serene, Serenada learns this lesson firsthand as she faces the Nedad's walk. This series of tests will determine if she is worthy of getting the power that at a time a siren was born with. Thanks to the actions of the woman before her, this trial is put in place as a punishment by the witch covens. Should she fail, she will never gain full access to the magic that lay dormant within. Seren, Seren, Serinda, Serinda, Serinda needs her power if she is going to stay alive, but she doesn't want to leave Malachi, her brooding protector, behind. He has just suffered a great loss, and she feels guilty. If she goes, she leaves Malachi to mourn alone. If she doesn't, they may both lose a lot more. A lot more when the covens find them. What Surrender doesn't realize is that by crossing the portal into the Nadad's walk, she may ultimately crush the very person she is trying to save. Will Ser, Seren, Serenetta is Syrinada. Serenetta be able to prove herself and gain her powers? Will Malachi survive without her? Siren's Test is the second installment of the Siren series, a paranormal fantasy series written by USA Today best-selling author Jessica Cage. Found out what Seren, Ser, Serenada, Serenada chooses. Grab your copy today. When I check, I'm like 32% done with this book. I started I started it yesterday. Let's see. Inner engineering, 9 hours, 8 hours. Okay. And the Cyrus test is 7 hours. No Love for the Wicked. I haven't read that one yet. So maybe I'll wait till next month. I don't know if that's in a series. It might be a standalone book. Um, I gotta see what's in the series and what's not. Okay, I think Tales of Novia. Tales of Novia is a series. It looks like it's at least 4 books. Then there's a book, Tales from the Other Worlds. Alexis Artem. That sounds like it's gonna give more. Oh no, that's Arden. I thought that was gonna give more insights to Arden and Zaria's story, but maybe not. Maybe that's its own thing. Okay, so Tales from Novia. Then there's Revitalize. So those look like the books I'll be reading next month. I've also been reading crochet patterns this month. I've also been practicing them. And when I say practice, I mean practice. Okay, so there's a part in a pattern I was looking at, and I think it's, let me look it up. It's okay. Let me actually go to it to actually describe it correctly for all my pattern readers out there. Okay. Okay, so I came across this pattern, and I gotta see where I got these patterns from. Like, I got a few patterns, and I'm like, where did I get these patterns from? I'm looking to see if they have a website on them, because I went to a website. I know I did. Uh, uh, Butterama, I gotta figure that out. Like, what I was, because I was reading something. I went from reading another pattern to reading another pattern, and then, well, I was reading patterns in my books, and yeah, I was reading patterns in my books, and then I came across a website. Uh, so yeah, I'll be looking for that website so I can make note of it. I'll put it on my patterns uh to recall. Okay, so the pattern that I was reading is um oh, you go to website right there on the pattern. Okay. I don't know if that's where I was though, but it is a website on the pattern. Let me see if that's where I was trying. Okay, so it is on the pattern. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so it is on the pattern. Just making sure I was going to the right place. So everything is on the pattern. Um, so let me go back to the pattern if I can. Do I need to go? Do I need to? Oh my God, I need to go back, back. Okay, okay. Yay! All right, so everything is there. Where I got the pattern from and all that good stuff. So I even attempted gauge. Gauge was not happening though because I was using a larger size yarn. So figured that out. Okay, so the pattern, where was I? Begins to increase after so many rows. And it was a specific row here between, let me see, between row 2 and row 3 to row 4. Okay, so at the end of row 2, I I would have 38 stitches, which I did get. So I do like that this pattern, and I've seen another pattern do that, tell you how many stitches you're supposed to have at the end of the row. I like that. So I can count and get that stitch count correct. Okay, so row 4, no, row 3. Um, and then reading these things without marking them, I had to mark them because it felt like I was getting mixed up with my rows if I didn't mark it off. So I did mark it off, but like when I would leave this page and come back, because I have it in the browser, um, it wouldn't keep what I marked. I would have to save it. So I hadn't saved it at that time. Yeah, I hadn't. Yeah, okay. So, anyways, so row 3 does its thing, and then I'm supposed to have 44 stitches at the end. And I achieved that at one point, and then I kind of, yeah. So let's move on to row 4, because row 4 is between, I mean, did I make it to row 5? I don't know. Oh, yeah, I did. I made it to row 5. Okay, so row 4, I was supposed to end up with 50 rows. So this is the one I repeated the most between row 3 and 4. And then I made it to row 5. Okay, so row 4 is the one I repeated the most. It says chain 1, then it has an asterisk, then it has, okay, so this, okay, I see the part where I'm talking about. Okay, so there's a part in the row where it's written in parentheses. It says 2 single crochet in next single crochet, comma, single crochet in next single crochet. Oh, wait. I didn't set it up right. Okay, here, this is how it looks in the pattern row. Because I was going to say the whole row, but here it is. It's open parentheses. This part right here, this open parentheses part right here. Now there is an open parentheses part in row 3, and that's why I had to do these rows like over and over because for the parentheses part, I finally, after getting it wrong so many times, I finally realized what I was doing. So after the parentheses, after the close parentheses part, it says for row 4 it says 3 times. For row 3 it says twice. For row 5 it says twice. For row, and that's it. Okay, so for row 3 it says twice after the close parentheses. So somehow I had got the stitch count, but mm, I don't think I did it correctly. I don't think I did the twice part because I wasn't getting it. I was just doing it once, or maybe I got it right on that part. But on row 4, I wasn't getting it right. I only did it once, and then it says from asterisk part once more. So when I would do that, I would only come up with, and it said I needed 50 stitches. So I would only come up with like 46 stitches. I think one time I got 48 stitches, but like I would get like 46. And I did that a few times. And then I was like, okay, I'm missing something because there are like several stitches that hadn't been worked in. My work wasn't going all the way around to the other side before like the next row. So I was noticing that and then went back, reread and studied the pattern and came to the conclusions that in the parentheses I am to do that times the number that it says after the close parentheses. So when I did that, then my stitches went around about and then came to the end of the row for the next round. And that took me several goes at it. So yes, I practiced reading stitches the other day, reading patterns. I practiced reading patterns. So not just reading it, but I got the I should take a picture of it. I was gonna take a picture, but I might as well before I undo it. Because I am gonna undo it and create something else with it because I don't have enough of that yarn to make that item anyway. Um, and it's a bulky 7 yarn, and so yeah, I had to convert the pattern, and it looks like I could maybe make a size small with my conversion. But yeah, all of that was just practice, like practice. What came of that session? Practice, because I'm gonna be frogging this thing. I mean, I practice reading the pattern. I practice making the pattern. I practice doing gauge. I practice converting a pattern. Um, I practice gauge like 3 times. So yeah, a bunch of practice. That was a practice session right there. So yay for practice sessions. That's what come out of practice sessions. You know, you might not have the your finished item or whatever, but you got that practice in. I got that practice in. The practice for reading patterns, the practice for practicing patterns, and I got my gauge in. Practice practicing gauge, making gauge a priority, a necessity, if you will. Uh, so yeah, I learned that I didn't have enough yarn and I wasn't gonna make gauge and I needed to convert my pattern. So I did that. So yeah, that was practicing that. So yay! I'll be reading some more patterns very soon. Um, yeah, I got several more patterns to read and practice, put forth that practice, and uh, yeah, read your patterns, guys. I'm in the pattern reading year at the moment. Thanks to TL Yarns Craft for encouraging us to learn how to read patterns so that we are exposed to other patterns that we would like to do. We can pick up a book and read a pattern out of the book. We can read patterns that are in those free pattern displays. So I have a few of those that I'll be reading soon. So yeah, I'm practicing reading patterns. I'm getting that going because there are some patterns and some books that I would like to to make. And when I make them, I'll have that skill of learning of that pattern. It's like before learning the pattern, it's like I would like to make that item or I would like to have that item, but where's the tutorial? So now I'm practicing the patterns and reading the patterns, and it's not necessarily where's the tutorial anymore. It's more like learning the translation of the pattern. So that's what I'm working on. Uh, is learning the translation of the pattern. What is it saying? So when I learned what that pattern was saying, I was able to follow the pattern. I was able to follow the pattern. So, yay! So, kudos to the learning process. Like, what does that say? What does that read? Oh, oh yeah, I can read patterns. I'm practicing. It took several tries for me. Um, I was trying it. I was giving it a good heave pogo. I even asked some of my fellow crocheter Conrads, and they gave me their wise wisdoms. I didn't know anything that they were telling me. Like, even though I researched it and was studying the game, I still didn't like know what to look for. Like, as far like I wasn't familiar with how it's gonna look in my hands. So they were able to tell me what it looked like, especially Kelly. Like Kelly was like, "Look, just basic. It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like that." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, "Well, no, my what I was doing was not nothing like that." So I was all the way out of gauge, and I did try to lessen my gauge, but my gauge wasn't going any lower than it needed to be because the yarn was too big. So yeah, I found that out after 3 tries, and I didn't try till after like I looked it up and all those things, and then I didn't ask my fellow crocheter comrades until I had researched, looked up, studied, worked it out on my own for like three goes. And then when I couldn't get it, I did ask them, and they were like, it's supposed to be like this, girl. Like, if it ain't like that, then boop, boop, boop. So I was like, okay, phew, thank you. Because the videos I was looking at did not even say it like that. They said it a different way that I didn't translate like that. So thank you for your translation. So now that I got that translation, you know, I can move on and proceed to the next to the next um, gauge project, because it could seem a bit like, how is this supposed to look, especially if you not having that person say, like, they telling you how it is, or but when you get it in your hands, you're like, is this right? You want to ask somebody, is this right? So you can be sure that you on the right track. Like, thank you so much for like telling me, like, look, this what how it's supposed to be, this how it's supposed to be. Now I'm like, oh, okay, got it. I got it now. I got it. Thank you. So yeah, introducing Gage into my life and welcoming that part of the process. I think my next, well, I got a few things like that could be next. I got my patchwork jacket over here on the side that could be next, which I kind of thought I was going to be working on during this live stream. I hadn't set time for that. I be thinking about it. I be thinking about it. I don't know. Maybe I just whatever. It's right here. I think all I have to do is the buttonholes. I think that's all I have to do. Before I condition them, I'm gonna condition those pieces that I knitted up. So yeah, I have to condition them before I add them. So I can work those up and condition those up. That'll come after I work them all up. Condition them, and then after they're conditioned, I got, they gotta dry. And then after they dry, then they'll be ready to sew on. And I got a couple of my bulldog clips. So I love seeing them. I'll be able to use a couple of my bulldog clips. I got like, I see at least three of them on hand. Did I put them up? If I put them up, I don't know if I still got them connected to my project. I had used a couple of them, but they do come in handy. Maybe they're still connected to my project. If I would use them to help me put on my um on the pieces when it's time to sew them up. So hopefully they're still connected to my project because they're not in my pouch right now. So yeah, for the other or for the next yarn that I pull out. Now see this requires it says a 5 yarn. Is the Bernat yarn a 5 that I have? I don't know if it's a 5 or a 6. So I would have to do a swatch for that when I do pull out that yarn to attempt this project again. Um, the other project is in my here. Go to my library. Okay, the true blue crochet pillow. I can do one panel of that at the moment, and then I have to pull out the other yarn for that at a later date. So that's what I have out at the moment. I also got um the other I would like to do the other crochet square. Let's see. Let's see if I can get to it in the through the table of contents. Oh no, it just says square one, square two, square three, square four, square five, square six, square seven, square eight. What square was that? Square three? Oh no, yeah, this one's square 50. Go back some. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of themed squares in this book. That's cool. You could make make well, it looks themed because they look like they go together because they use a lot of the same colors. So the squares with the similar theme and colors seem like they rock with each other. So they could be put in a project together to make a cool project. Seems like I gotta scroll all the way back through this book because my slider isn't working. I'm on page 145. Let me try this slider again. Goodness. Okay, we on page 75. We're getting lower because one of the squares I would like to do there in the front of the book, and then the other squares I would like to do is in the back of the book. Okay, here we go. Front of the book. Okay, there's the one square I did. I did square 3 already. The next square I would like to do is square 6. Okay, I think, okay, so from my experience of doing square 3, I think I know how square 6 is going to do, how to do square 6. I was able to rock with these instructions for the most part and get that done, even though I messed up. It wasn't the pattern's fault that I messed up. Okay, materials, yarn color A, color B, turquoise, color C. It's 3 colors? Oh, well, I only see 2. Um, yarn color off white, turquoise, and dark turquoise. Okay, okay. That's why I only see 2 colors. Okay, dark turquoise and light. Well, it didn't say light turquoise. It said turquoise and dark turquoise. Okay, ingredients. Um, form a ring. So yeah, I'll probably be working on this square soon. It doesn't tell me what I'm making first. Oh, yeah, it does. There it is right there. It says square. Okay, so I'll be making the square first. Okay. In my head, I was making the sunglasses first because that's what's on top. And for square 3, I made the heart first. But okay, this one is making the square first. Okay, so it's a little bit of a switcheroonie with this pattern. Wow. Okay, just when I thought, just when I thought I knew. Okay, read the pattern. Just when I thought I knew. Did I don't know if I showed my square. The first square I made by pattern. I thought I took pictures of it. Oh, maybe not. But yeah, I'm gonna make this one. I got like some main squares from this book that I'm gonna make first, and then I'm gonna go back in and make some more squares out of this book. This is an excellent book, um, called 101 uh crochet squares by Jean Liam. Let's see what she say. What her name is. Um, Let me put a bookmark on this right here. It's who the back Leon Harsh Harsher Harsher Harsher. Yep, Leon Harsher Hosser. It could be a Hosser. I don't know where I got shirt from. Hosser. Hos. Mhm. Yep. I like the book. It's so colorful. I'm liking the squares in it. The squares, the patterns in the squares. It says it's Annie's crochet. No specific gauge, no specific hook size. All blocks can be worked with any size yarn. Unlike most crochet patterns, those in this book specify no gauge and no suggested hook size and no yarn amounts. That's because each of the 101 squares can be worked with your choice of yarn, from bulky to crochet cotton, to achieve just the look you want. Designs make use of up to 4 colors. Up to 4 colors. Because the heart square that I made was like 3 colors. And then this one here is 3 colors. The sunglasses one. Okay, so that's cool. Like, see, like this book is like real chill, laid back, crochet type work. So, if you need some real chill, laid back patterns in your life, to ease up off the pressure of gauge, this is a cool crochet book right here, where you could be creative, more laid back, relax while you crocheting, to give yourself that woosah and create some cool squares. There's some cool squares in this book. I like how that sounds. Some cool squares in this book. Like, squares are cool. Like, cause squares are cool. Yes, girl. Cause squares. Yes, woman. Cause squares are cool. Duh. Like, come on. Aren't you square? Okay, so that can be coming up. I thought that was a white, but it's saying off white. So I was ready to use a white that I had for this pattern. because I thought it was white because I didn't read anything up on the pattern till just now. So, the off-white I think I have that I'm calling off-white is my butter color. That's what I'm calling off-white, but I guess it's not off-white. I guess it's butter. But yeah, I've been calling it off-white. So I'm gonna be using some different colors on this. I'm gonna be using white, and if this is teal, then I'll be using teal. If it's not teal, then I'm still gonna be using it. It's like a blue. No, it's not a teal. It might not be a teal, but it's like a bluish color. So it'll be like in the same color theme, just not the same colors. I do have a teal though. Um, but that teal is I'm working with it with another project that is in progress. If I was to use a teal. I ain't trying to use another yarn that's with a project already. Not just yet. So I'm gonna use two colors. It says like a teal and a dark teal. My teal kind of looks greenish. Um, the photo in the book, it kind of looked bluish. So I had in mind to use this kind of bluish yarn. So I might use that for both the sunglasses and the border because that's what it's used on. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just be using two colors, making that. And it is 101. I don't know if I'm gonna make all of these, but they cute. They are cute. It's a bunch of cute ones in here that I am gonna be making. I mean, they cute enough to make. Like, ain't no reason not to make them. 101. I mean, I could make it a thing. I'm not talking myself up on making all these squares. Goodness, I think I am. Cause I know TL Yarns, she had at least that amount of squares that she made her blanket with. Ooh, that'll be so pretty. That'll be oh, oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like that blanket would be so beautiful. That'll be another work of art piece right there. Like all of these 101, because I mean, the book is not telling you to do that. Like, it's not telling you to make these squares into a blanket, although you could, or you could just take the ones that you want, and then make that a blanket. But yeah, all of them together, I mean, you could. It'd be pretty. At first, I kind of was thinking of doing the themed ones together because there's some themed seasonal ones that you can group together and make a seasonal something another with it, which I mean, you still can. Like, You can make all the squares and you can make a blanket out of them. And you can also make, put the seasonal squares together and make something out of it with those. You can make a blanket with them too. Make more of them. Then you got these squares that are kind of like solids you can group together and make something out of them. Then you got the flowers. You can group them together if you want. Then you got the similar stitches. Like there are some squares in here that have like similar stitching. You could group those together and make something with that. So this book has several possibilities from from simplistic to complicated and everything in between. Complicated as far as like your imagination designs, what you want to make of it. Complex, if you will. To do the mismatch. I love the colors. The colors are bright and vibrant. Colors are popping. So yeah, if I was to do all of them, I would do all of the squares in this book. I would do that. It would be that book that I do that with. Um, there's another book I have. It's the Granny Square book by Margaret Hu- Hu- Hubbard. She has a Granny Square book I was reading. 100 Granny Square Patterns. It says the 100 Granny Square patterns in this book will give you a large repertoire. She actually typed that out. That is so excellent. Repertoire for designing many projects. All of the sample squares have been crocheted in the same lightweight cotton yarn with the same size hook to make the variations in the stitch patterns most appropriate. Excuse me, most apparent. As you can imagine, each of the squares will take on entirely new characteristics when you choose different colors, fibers, and yarn weights. Play around with interesting textures and combinations from your stash and see what you can create. She shows how to chain join and other stitch, crochet, seaming, all before you begin the book. Looks like she even shows a couple of border pictures. If you love multicolored squares but hate all the ends created by changing yarns, crochet with self-striping yarn. All of these classic granny squares, page 30, are made from the same skein of self-striping yarn, so they all coordinate well, but no two are exactly alike. It looks like, let's see, how to crochet a classic granny square. Okay, she goes into that. Adjustable loop, crochet diagram symbols, a word about gauge. I probably need to read that just for gauge sake. I kind of jumped from this book. I went to the squares to see what the squares look like. So, what is this? What is this telling me? Okay, so work instructions within brackets as many times as directed. Okay, so it's telling me about the brackets. Work instructions within patterns as many times as directed. Okay, so now it's telling me about the parentheses. Repeat instructions following the signal asterisk as directed. Repeat instructions between asterisks as many times as directed, or repeat from given set of Instructions. Okay, so this is great information to know. This is just like telling me how to read a pattern. That is vital information for your everyday life. I figured it out. uh, this book is telling me though. This book is telling me. So yeah, I'll go back and read that book. I'm scrolling to the squares. But yeah, that first part of the book is very informative. You get your crochet school on. The 101 crochet squares is, if I can recall correctly, it's just patterns. It's not a school. It's just patterns. So you already got to know with that book. This book is a bit of schooling and it got diagrams. That's why I wanted to scroll to see if it had diagrams because the other book doesn't have diagrams. And these are named, look like, yeah, this one is named and skill level is given. The other book, the squares are numbered. And no skill level given that I recalled. Okay, so it starts off with an intermediate square for the first square, and for the second square, the level is easy. That's cute, kind of. So you can get your diagram read on with this one. Also, wait, okay. It has the pattern first, the written words first, the written pattern first. Then it has the picture of the square. Then it has the diagram. Well, that's how it is in my book at the moment. My book layout. Now it could be different, because I don't have my book layout like the original book. I have altered my book layout. So all of that description may not even apply, when you book according to your own book layout. When you're looking at a digital copy. I'm looking at a digital copy right now. I just realized I needed to note that I was reading a digital copy. Ooh, what is this called? Because it kind of, the other square kind of was giving barefoot sandal to me. And this one is, what? Ad- Adrian? Is that how you spell Adrian? Adrian half square? Adrienne. It looks, it's giving barefoot sandal. Like you could make that into a barefoot sandal. Seem like. Here's another classic granny half square. It looked like it could be a barefoot sandal, depending on its measurements. They could be barefoot sandals. Even the other square, it was a full square, but it looked like it was given barefoot sandal vibes. You would have to connect it in like two sections on each side for it to connect. So here's another half square. So this has the half square patterns in it. I'm not really zhuzhing with these at the moment. Okay, I'm familiar with this square. Hold on. As soon as I said that, I found something I like. The rectangle granny. I learned this square in Every Way with Granny Crochet by Julia Maddow. I learned this square in that book. I'm feeling that. Like, I will be revisiting this square. And yeah, I like that square. Or, excuse me, rectangle. I like that rectangle. Round 10. That square has 10 rounds. This square has 5 rounds. It seems like it got more than 5 rounds. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, okay. So the inside flower must be made separately then. So I would read this book for the beginning info. I'm steady scrolling, looking at the squares. But yeah, um, this book has some great pattern reading information, and I'm looking forward to reading the gauge part to see what wisdom it gives in the gauge part of this book. So I'll be going back to the beginning of this book to read the beginning part. Yeah, read the beginning part. Okay, so I'm steady trying to find, get that same. These 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 look. I don't know. They cool looking. I mean, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. They look more intricate because of the yarn that's used. It makes them look more intricate. They're made up with a thinner yarn. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of this book so I can read the beginning part, which I'll just be reading it again. I think I read this beginning part already a while ago though. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been since maybe last month. Um, so I'll read the beginning part again. This is the second edition, Granny Square book, the Granny Square book. Um, now with 100 motifs and 25 all new projects. I hadn't even gotten to the project part. Timeless techniques and fresh ideas for crocheting square by square. Margaret Hubbard. Cover page, title page, contents, introduction, crochet basics, hooks and other notions, general techniques, granny square techniques, details and finishings, 100 square patterns, designing with granny squares, start small, graph it out, quilted vest. Oh, okay, that kind of sounds familiar. Okay, let's go to designing with granny square section. Cute, cute, cute. Start small. It says start small. If you love granny squares and would like a little touch of them, here are a few ideas. Some can be completed in a very short time and they make great gifts. Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What is it? Okay, this is a flower garden headband. Okay, cute. What? Okay, you get the number of yarn that the item is made up in, and the hook. You get the instructions. You get the what's that called? Special stitches. You get the special stitches note, and then it goes into the round. It doesn't say special stitches note, but I know this part of a pattern from the patterns that I previously read as the special stitches note when I was reading like um boy patterns. I taught myself to crochet. What? You supposed to have the squares done already? It doesn't tell you how to do the square, so maybe the square is in the book. Hmm. Pearl, pearl number 5. Is that the cotton pearl number 5? Is is that all together the yarn? It says 2 at the top, and then it says yarn DMC cotton. Then it says pearl number 5, and it talk about how to tie the tie, single crochet 3 together. Then it says row 1 with right side facing, work across short edge of assembled squares. So that means you already got the squares together. What? How? Like, what it at? Like, how do I know what square to do that with? Like, uh, that didn't give me a project. What? Blooming Granny Hat Band. What? Okay, so this is a different project. How do I know what square this is? Uh-uh. This too much. This too much of nothing. Like, how am I supposed to know what square this is if I want to make this exact thing? Number 5. Let me go to number 5. Let me see if peril number 5 is this same square. It goes from being numbered to not being numbered when it comes to the squares. Okay, 3 is numbered. 4 is not numbered. Adrian's Adrian's half square. And then when it starts doing these half squares, they're not numbered. Then it goes to a basic granny square. It's not numbered. Then, so it was starting with the written pattern first, and then the picture, then the diagram. Now on this square is the picture, the diagram, and then the written numbers. And this is Nicole's granny half. Nope, that wasn't a half square. I don't know where that one is. Oh, maybe it's this. No. Oh, it's down here. Number 5, Nicole's granny square. Now, what did I say that was? Uh, I said 5. A perlier, number 5. This isn't Perlier, and this is number 5, but it's not the same square. Doesn't seem like the same square. Not the same name as a square. So how am I to create the items in the back? Scroll through the whole book looking for it. Like, is it named the same? I don't know. This maybe if I change my settings. Let me try changing my settings. I'm not even gonna do it because it's gonna change my settings for my other book. I mean, I could, but mm-mm. I'm going to read the beginning of the book and then maybe go back and revisit that later in that book, perhaps.